Welcome to 1212, the fourth sacred threshold in our catapult journey, the choice to align. We're so happy to see all of you here, and we know many of you have been enjoying this with the replay. So welcome, and we have a special treat for you again today. We've been moving through an arc of becoming. On 9/9, we released. On 10/10, we remembered. On 11/11, we embodied. And now on 12/12, in these days, approaching the solstice, we align. Today, everything we've been cultivating, light, clarity, coherence, gathers itself into form. The field becomes breath. The remembering becomes lived. The aliveness and choice become the message. We've been doing this as the choice to move, like these choices seem really important for us, this choice. And we're choosing aliveness for the unitive age. So as we begin, let this be simple: a sacred hour, a shared field, a community choosing to live in deeper harmony with one another and with what is true. As we open this container, we invite a few gentle agreements. Let yourself arrive fully. Turn off those cell phones, close other tabs on your computer. I'm going to invite you to light a candle. If you have one near, just light a candle and try to use the chat for the sacred, reverent experience that we have together. You know what that means. No self-promotion, that kind of thing. And this is a sanctuary. This is a sanctuary for reflections, for resonance, for blessing, and most of all, really a powerful transmission that we've all been having. So feel the field beneath the words. There's a shared pulse here, many hearts, one coherent intention, and it changes what is possible. So bring yourself fully here. I'm going to introduce all of our guests right now, and we're blessed today to have these here for you, sharing their gifts. So I'm really honored. I love all of our guests that we've had every time, but we're going to bring them on screen now so you can really transition smoothly later throughout our program. And I want to introduce them each to you, like in a nice way, so you can have them join me on screen, see who they are, and hear who they are. So as we move through the program, there'll be a resonance and a coherence that you'll feel later. We love these catapults to be an experience. It's not a webinar. It's not a some kind of a meeting or talking heads. This isn't a place that we invite anything but experience. We want you to deepen into this experience with us. So first, I have Dr. Jude Currivan, cosmologist, planetary healer, futurist, author, and co-founder of WholeWorld-View, carrying a profound articulation of the living unity of our cosmos. You're in for a treat listening for Jude. She's our good friend here in the connection field and with the imaginal souls. Thank you, Jude. And Dr. Linda Linker Rosenthal, founder and creative director of Insight Out Visionary Healing Arts, a longtime guide in higher self-awareness, healing, and conscious community. Welcome, Linda. Thanks for joining us. And Gary Malkin, multiple Emmy award-winning composer, producer, performer, and experiential strategist whose music and work have become a bridge into the heart, grief, healing, and human becoming. Welcome, Gary. It's so nice to see you. Amelie Grace, astrologer, Gene Keys guide, self-cultivation guide, and transmission artist. Everyone is loving Amelie's contributions to our Catapult Pulse, and we're so lucky to have her. She's offering symbolic intelligence and evolutionary insight for these times of transformation, and she brings the astrology to us here today on this 12/12. Thanks for joining us again, Amelie. And with us always, Teresa Collins, co-founder of the Global Coherence Pulse and founding presence in the connection field, the founder of the Coherence bringing islands of coherence into everything she does, bringing decades of whole systems design, learning communities, and coherence leadership into the field. Thank you, Teresa. We're happy to have you. And I'm Dr. Julie Krull, your guide and steward of this sacred remembering. So, look at this beautiful screen. They're all going to come up and do their part. Thank you all for welcoming them, and thank you all for joining us and sharing your gifts. So we're going to begin with a little attunement to bring you into this day and to settle us into our bodies as we prepare. So today is a threshold of attunement, coherence between frequency and form, a day where what we know in our spirit becomes trustworthy in our choices. Alignment. Alignment for us is the art of living in tune with the whole, with the wisdom in our bodies, the truth in our relationships, the integrity in our work, and the quiet intelligence moving through life itself. So we aren't reaching for something far away. We're allowing what is real to organize us from within. Think about it. Until our lives become a clear note of a wider song, we allow that inside to reorganize and organize. And now we begin with this brief opening transmission of meditation. So settle yourself in if you can. We'll come into a shared field of coherence together. Take a conscious, intentional, settling breath with me. And let this moment, if you can close your eyes, close your eyes. Let this moment receive you. Let the day hold you. Let the body come home to the breath. Inhale slowly. Exhale gently, as if life itself is exhaling through you. Today we meet 1212 as a luminous threshold, a simple symbol that carries a deep remembering. There's an intelligence to reality, a hidden harmony beneath the visible world, and we belong to it. Feel that now. We belong to it. Alignment in this way is true alignment to the whole, a quiet inner consonance with what is true, a willingness to let coherence become the way we move, the way we speak, the way we choose. We've released, we have remembered, we have embodied, and now we align. Alignment is the soft act of tuning, a return to rhythm, a settling of the inner waters until the deepest signal rises clear and kind within us. And we begin with simple reverence. Feel the weight of your body, the sacred gravity that keeps you fully present. Feel the ground beneath you, steady, ancient, intimate. Feel the space around you, a wide field with room for your becoming, for your expansion. If it feels right, place a hand on your heart or on your belly or both, and let your palms just rest open as if you're willing to receive what is already here. In this place of receiving, invite one truth to step forward. Not as a thought to analyze, but as a tone you can feel. Ask within, what is true in me that is ready to lead? What is ready to come into harmony in my nervous system, in my relationships, in my work, my way of being? And where does life feel most coherent, even now? Let the answers arrive as sensation, image, memory, warmth. However they come, let them arrive without urgency. Because alignment is not something we chase. It's something we allow to organize from within. There's a music beneath matter, a living pattern moving through seasons, through endings and beginnings, through every threshold we dare to meet with presence. Today, 12:12, we listen for it. Take another conscious breath. The breath is one way it sings. The heart is another. The simplest, truest choice you can make that is also part of the song is to slow down and listen. So let yourself be tuned. Let yourself be arranged by coherence. Let your life become an instrument that belongs to a wider symphony. We do not do this alone. We do this together, a community of remembering, a living, coherent field of harmonic emergence, an island of coherence, a course of human beings, a chorus and a course of human beings, choosing unity with the whole. And now, as a seal for this beginning, offer this prayer softly, inwardly, or aloud to yourself. 2 simple sentences. May we create what serves coherence. May what we speak become a soft blanket of truth. And one more breath. Let it land like a blessing on the day. And again, I welcome you to the 12:12 portal. Welcome to the choice to align. Welcome to the next movement of the song. And with that, I want to bring on my beloved friend, Dr. Linda Linker Rosenthal, to open us in ceremony and blessing this morning or this afternoon, wherever you're at.
Thank you so much, Julie. I'm in that place already, as all of us are who are here. So as we're breathing gently, I invite you to close your eyes if you want to, just soften them, keep them open, remembering that when you're in alignment, everything is simple, everything is natural. So as we're breathing, gently closing your eyes if that's comfortable. There's no particular pattern. There's no counting to your breath. There's just the noticing that you are alive from your breath and from your heartbeat. And as you breathe and become aware, take that next inhale a little bit slower, a little bit deeper. Being very aware of your heartbeat in this moment as it pulses one beat at a time, sending your awareness through your veins and arteries, all the capillaries, into every part of your bones, your organs, your muscles, all of you as one moving field of aliveness, sitting in this natural state of who you are. And as you breathe this movement inside of you, as Julie had said, the breath is the music, the heartbeat is the drum. Our bodies begin to align with Mother Earth as she holds us securely, cradles us with her nourishment and love. And as we're connecting consciously with Mother Earth, knowing that her waters are within us, her soil is within us, with everything that we nourish ourselves with. The wind is our breath inside. The atmosphere around Mother Earth is surrounding us right now in our own space, wherever we are in our own room, feeling the breath of life within us and around us. Our physical bodies are meant to receive. And so let's focus now up on our mind, the thoughts that we have, just being aware of every thought that brings us the choice to live in wholeness, in that unitive consciousness, the choice to live in love, with love, as love. Knowing that our thoughts align with our emotions. And when those emotions feel joy and happiness, we get that tingle, that buzz of aliveness that says, thank you. Thank you that I am connected to my mind, my heart, my body. This cascade of hormones flowing through me that create these thoughts and emotions into this physical world allows me to expand, allows the field around us to widen, knowing that we are tapping in to each other, all of us here, right now, consciously, mindfully, making the choice to align together as one humanity. We expand even more to align to that greater spirit that guides all of this, to that higher self, the consciousness of all, the universal energy of awareness, of love, of creativity, of possibility. When we align, we say yes. We feel it. We sense it. We see it in our mind's eye as whatever you see that brings you the greatest joy. Colors, visions, faces, memories. We hear it in the depth of this quietness, that we are aligning with the greater spheres of song, music, sound, vibration. and we allow it to penetrate us. Every cell, every energetic impulse, bringing us closer to our source, inviting that inside of us, where we align now our thoughts, our emotions, our physicality to that greater vibration of the whole. We're all here. We're all in it together. We've agreed to do this. And feel that sense of joy, of curiosity, that sense of aliveness. We have released. We have remembered. We have embodied this. And when we align, it's something that we do in every breath, in our everyday lives. It's how we walk in the world. Our authenticity, being real and true and honest with ourselves and with the greater knowing of who we are as divine beings. Let's breathe it in. We welcome this love, this vibration that is within us, feeling it so strongly and around us. And we get to take this with us everywhere we go. With every thought, I am in alignment with the greater good, with the whole, with the one beating heart. The one brilliant mind. The one creative force that is guiding all of us to our next highest expression of our truest self. Let this be so. And let this sacred time together now stay with us for the next hour and be carried with us as we move through our day. So let's bring ourselves back to the present, to this room, with a big breath of love and gratitude. Feeling each other's energy as we gently allow ourselves to wiggle our fingers and toes, gently opening our eyes and coming back together. So may it be, and so it is.
So it is. That was beautiful, Linda. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you sharing your gifts. And now we have gifts from our beloved Gary Malkin sharing music with us today. You need to turn your mic on, Gary.
Couldn't imagine a more perfect way to do what I'm planning for us right now. Thank you, Linda. That was absolutely transcendent. I'd like us to take everything that Linda invited us into and to now have a collective experiment of resonance together. The universal language of human emotion allows us to kind of melt our boundaries. And I'd like us all to listen as a collective form of prayer. I associate the following track with a poignant grief, but whatever arises inside of you, allow your molecules, your mitochondria, the whole of your being, to let the music allow us to all be in collective prayer. Reimagining listening is a form of connecting to all of us and the field. So here's the first track that I want to play as a way to just soften our responsiveness to the universal language of music. Feel the benefits of your listening practice in our collective experience of resonating with music that awakens and expands our ability to feel. And the next recording, I just want to let it settle though, that you might even want to put in the chat, how did that make you feel? What emotion did it arise in you? And Brene Brown in Atlas of the Heart talks about naming the nuance of your emotion has correlates to longevity and fulfillment and a flourishing life. So this next one, Julian and I thought it would be really sweet to create an homage. I'm going to switch orders here. Kind of an homage to the religions and the spirituality that got us here. We are at such a precipice of awakening something entirely new, beyond, inclusive of religion, but not defined by it. An entirely new interspirituality that's calling us all into a unified field of honoring spirit. And so this track is Benedictus. It's from the Unspeakable Grace album, Music of Graceful Passages. The previous was from Thrive 2. And just let's all experience with our intention that this is an homage to the spiritual religions that got us to this moment. Because what we're letting go now is something so extraordinary and moving on, the door that closes and the window that opens. So let's listen with reverence and gratitude and whatever else arises as these ancient phrases resonate in your heart and soul.
Blessings to you, my brother. Blessings to you, my friend. Blessings to you, my sister, with a love that has no end. Blessings to you, my mother. Blessings to you, my friend. Blessings to you, my Father, with a love that has no end. Benedictus Amen. Shalom Adonai. Kyrie eleison. Benedictus Amen. Shalom Adonai. Kyrie eleison. Blessings to you, my sister. Blessings to you, my friend. Blessings to you, my brother. May you live in a love that has no
May you live with a love that has no end. Just allow the ripples of the frequencies and the vibrations that have just been heard and feel the results, not only of it, it's the results of the listening practice within you, but within the field that we're co-creating together. Excuse me. The last piece, as this ritual of listening, as a remembrance of resonance, as a collective prayer, let's imagine someone or something or some place that you wish for a positive outcome. This music, I've written it for part of the score to Thrive 2, and those soundtracks will be available soon on Spotify. But the bottom line is, every time I play this, I have my experience of somehow believing in unlimited possibility, the art of the unlimited possibility. And what if we participate with our optimism and our hope and our faith that awakens with an even deeper capacity, because we learn how to be tuning forks of possibility in response to what we're hearing. So think of the person, the place, the thing, the life situation, an area in the world that's experiencing conflict, whatever, a project you're working on, and let's empower what comes to your heart with the unlimited positive outcome. And as you listen to this music, may it be so, may it be so, may it be so. Feel the results of your listening practice, the absorption of the gorgeous transmission that Julie gave us and Linda gave us, and feel the tuning fork that you are, that is participating in the outcome of this extraordinary time we're all in. Listening, in my view, is the mother of all intelligences. It's the mother of all forms of awakening for me. May it be of service to you, and I'll see you towards the end. And thank you for inviting me, Julie. It reminds me of our rest in resonance days and the 7 days of rest. And I just love sharing music as a sacrament for connecting in a tribe. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Gary. That was beautiful. That was exquisite. I appreciate you so much, and your musical genius is out of this world. And I can't think of a better introduction for Jude than your music. Like wow. So I'm like thrilled to bring in my beloved friend Jude Currivan, who's going to talk about the cosmology. And I have to say, Jude, in this introduction, just briefly, as we've put the catapult together, there's so many prophecies, there's so much astrology, there's so much pointing to this. And this week I had someone else in a WhatsApp group point to the Chinese year of the snake. And then we're entering the year of the horse, which is totally in alignment again. Like the year of the snake is about shedding and endings and like all this. And so I couldn't think of anyone better for this 12/12 portal than to invite you to talk to us about the cosmology and this choice to align with this deeper unitive function that's emerging everywhere on the planet, building coherence as it goes. And also, when Gary mentioned the love in that second tune, it's like, oh yeah, aligning with love. And you're doing some beautiful work with the science of unitive love. And so I can't wait to hear your message today. And I'm going to drop back in a minute and we'll have a little dialogue between the two of us.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you, everyone. Oh, that was so beautiful, Gary. Thank you, and thank you, Linda. My heart feels so open, and as always, I'm wholeheartedly delighted to be with my wonderful community of the connection field and through this time of the catapult. As Julie mentioned, and what I share is a new story that's an ancient story, but it's basically revealing through leading edge discoveries and scientific evidence at all scales and many different fields of research are turning the old paradigm of an essentially dead universe of mechanics and separation on its head, and instead converging with universal wisdom teachings and indigenous traditions that are showing instead that our universe is essentially living and that it meaningfully exists to purposefully evolve from simplicity to complexity and individuated self-awareness as a fundamentally unified whole. Instead of being birthed in implied chaos, we've shared a lot about breath already today, but from its first moment of a wonderfully fine-tuned, ordered, ongoing, and universal big breath that breathes its emergent flow through our breaths in each moment. Its unity is embodied in diversity and inherent belonging. We belong. The story of our universe is our story of belonging and the interdependence of its vast communities of life that we're really only now being introduced to. You know, we've had many thousands of years of engagement with through mystical experiences, spiritual experiences, indigenous traditions of our planetary family and beyond. But my goodness me, it feels that this moment and in the years to come, that can open up to an enormously, hugely, wondrously greater and grander realization that we are members of its vast communities of life. We're family members. And that's founded on a universal foundation of beauty and truth and goodness, and with love as a universal principle of coherence, healing, harmony, and wholeness. What a blessing. And Gary, I loved your playing of Benedictus, which is Latin for blessing. I felt the blessing of your music and the blessing of what Linda shared with us and Julie shared with us coming into our hearts, into each and all of our hearts. And in our living universe, where mind, as Julie knows, I've spoken of how many times now, but where mind and consciousness aren't what we have, but what we and the whole world are. And as Amelie will share, astrology is also cosmology. In a sentient universe, everything is part of that sentience, including our solar family and the family members that we term sun and moon and planets. So as we gather here on 12/12, our theme is a choice to align. Do we choose to remain in fear and separation? Or do we choose to attune and align with the evolutionary impulse of our universe, the magnificent impulse of our universe, a loving invitation to remember who we really are and open up to the potential of who we can evolve to become, and play our part in the promise of a coming unitive age as conscious co-evolutionary partners with each other, our beloved planetary home Gaia, our entire solar system and beyond. The past nearly 40 years have offered us key moments to affirm our choices, each themselves aligned with planetary astrological influences. And among them, there was the harmonic convergence of August the 16th and 17th of 1987, the first ever synchronized global peace meditation, when millions of people affirmed their choice to align with love. The harmonic concordance of November 8th and 9th of 2003 coincided with the planetary Star of David alignment and a lunar eclipse, a great showing of the wisdom of what a choice to align with universal principles can attain. And then the Aquarian dawn of February the 14th, 2009, aligned with the word of a song, the words of a song. Gary, you'll know this. The song was Aquarius from the musical Hair. Literally, at dawn that day, the moon was in the 7th house and Jupiter aligned with Mars. It was an extraordinary opening of joy and song, and over many more than 1 million people tuned into that alignment. And actually, the cast of the musical that was being shown for the first time in many years in 2003 heard about this. I do not know how, but they heard about this. And they all came into Times Square in New York and sang the song. As each pulse rippled, more and more people have awakened to their deeper nature, a realization that we are each unique, and yet we are inseparable from each other, our beloved Gaia, and the wider cosmos. And in doing so, as we awaken, we align and choose more lovingly and more wisely. We're now on the threshold of a further and momentous time of choice. And this is a choice at this moment, literally, as we move in 1212 to 11 and onward. This is a choice, it seems to me, to be out of bounds, out of the bounds of limiting rules and aspects of our lives that are constrained by norms and inhibited by imposed notions or should or shouldn't, that no longer serve us and no longer serve the good of the whole. To instead live embodied living from our deepest values with loving authenticity and truth, beauty and goodness. Philosophers have understood these as being foundational to the nature of our universe for millennia. And now, with the unitive science, and as Julie mentioned, the science of unitive love, we can remember and regain these foundational principles to be lived by, to be aligned with. On February the 20th, this coming year, as Amelie so well knows, Saturn and Neptune meet in early Aries, a pivotal moment and initiation of a new epoch, offering major opportunities for collectively expanding awareness, spiritual breakthroughs, deepening inner wisdom, and empowering global transformation, and which Julie and I are referring to as a harmonic emergence and the ushering in of a unitive age. Gary and Julie mentioned the religions and the spiritual traditions that have brought us thus far. And in the Christian tradition, today, 1212, is halfway through the season of Advent, the 4 weeks of reflection and preparation for Christmas, marking the coming of the essence of Christ consciousness, unitive consciousness, love into the world. Perhaps this year we can consider Advent in a universal light of potential for us all to choose to align with love, that embodiment of Christed consciousness, unitive awareness, and foundational inspiration of the narrative that is the narrative of the unitive age. And not only for ourselves, but to invite us to also reach out, as Julie and I often say, to link up, to lift up, and to level up with each other. And as we move into solstice, that time of the breath, the pause of the breath, the 3 days where soul halts at the end of a cycle and turns to form a new cycle, and the longest night of the year in the Northern Hemisphere, to align and light up, to come together, and with all life. That, it seems to me, is our choice. This is our choice, to align. Thank you, everyone. Julie.
Wow. Thank you, Jude. That was beautiful. I feel like I need a big pause just to integrate. I just sat here going, yes, yes, yes. You brought in the convergence and like this trilogy, and we're moving into 2026, and we're calling it in the connection field and imaginal souls, we're calling this the year of harmonic emergence. And I'm so happy we've got Marshall Lefferts doing his work with harmonics now. There's so much happening that's really going to support us in these coming days. I'm wondering what your intuition says about a choice for the harmonic emergence that we're claiming for February 20th. And then we'll get Amelie here in a minute. But from your place of cosmology, what do you intuit is the most important thing for us in our preparations over the next 5-6 weeks, whatever it is from now, maybe 8 from now? But what do you intuit is most important?
I think most important is to realize we're not alone, to realize that this is the invitation of our universe to awaken, to remember, to say yes to the invitation, to step into the potential and the adventure of what can be and what can come. And I'm reframing, because we're taught, there's a lot in the news about the polycrisis. And for me, that term, the polycrisis, really comes from the old paradigm, the old worldview, the old lens of separation. And it's seeing all of the issues that we face, and indeed we do face, but it's seeing them through a lens of separation, which shows that they are indeed existential threats. But if we go deeper than that, and maybe use a different term of metacrisis, the metacrisis is the metaphysical crisis that has caused the polycrisis. But if we deepen into the metacrisis, but deepen beneath that, realizing that that itself is a crisis of metaphysical separation, we can reframe it, because we can awaken, and we can reframe it as a metamorphosis. And what is extraordinary in a metamorphosis, and this is, I feel, so true of us, we can't know what the end destination is. What we can do, it seems to me, not just intuitively, with every fiber of our being, trust the benevolence of the universe. Trust that we are not alone. Trust that its big breath and all of its communities of multi-dimensional sentience, including our solar family, are here cheering us on. They're here saying, yes, you could do this. Yes, we could do this. It is so wondrous a moment. And as Amelie will share with us, the signs are all here that it is offering us a threshold, a beginning, a truly new birth into a unitive age, which isn't just about understanding that our existential reality is unity. It's experiencing it and it's embodying it. So I'd say yes, intuitively, but yes, on every fiber of who we are. Open our hearts to this. Open our everything that is in us, everything that says yes to potential and possibility. Don't stay with the old limitations, the old constraints. Live into this, lean into this joyfully, gratefully, because this is the time. I've been on this journey of discovery for 70 years, and I've never been more excited than I am now, with all the turbulence, because that's what happens in a metamorphosis. The old breaks down. It can no longer sustain itself. It no longer needs to. It literally has outgrown that part of its awareness. It doesn't need it anymore. It takes what it's learned till then. It does. We know that there's memory that goes on. but it's not traumatized memory. And it's a memory of the caterpillar to some degree, but it's the opening to the possibility of what can emerge. That is my sense. And the emergence, I feel, will be absolutely magnificent if we can make the choice to align with love and joy and gratitude and with beauty and truth and goodness.
I love that. Thank you. It's a beautiful direction for us. And yes. And what a better time. Thank you, Jude. I have 1,000 more questions, but I'm going to transition us and we're going to bring you back on screen in a minute. Thank you. Everyone is loving your words and what you're bringing today. It's a perfect time to transition to that astrology with Amelie, our house astrologist, Gene Key's expert. And she always inspires all of us. So we're really happy to have you on, Amelie. Thank you.
Oh, yes. And thank you, Jude, for really teeing up making my job really simple. You definitely framed this moment in time so beautifully, and all of us here, everything that's been laid out into the field is just in perfect alignment. And how could it not be? Because we're vessels for this moment, and we're just allowing the pattern that is now to move through us. And so I'm here to kind of look at those places in the cosmos and illuminate the ways that they're already here in this space and what they're inviting us into in these coming days, weeks, and the rest of our lifetimes, on and on. Um, yeah, I do want to revisit the larger frame, and then we'll come into this month. Um, the larger frame being this big turning point of February 20th, 2026, and how Saturn and Neptune coming together, as Jude was speaking about, heralding this time, this birth of a new era. It's helpful to remember that the last time these two planets were together was 1989, around the time when the Berlin Wall came down and the internet was born. So, new structures falling down and coming into place to connect us. The last time they were conjoined in the sign of Aries was in the 1500s, just a decade or so before the Copernican revolution that reshifted our whole worldview, the sun being the center of the solar system, and the beginning of the Renaissance up, in Europe and various places all over the world was going through a massive, revolution in thought around that time. So here we are. We're at a turning point, massive recalibration of our reality frameworks. And I love that meta crisis piece of, yeah, this is a time. Sorry, I feel like I have something in my tooth. There we go. Where we are awakening to a new metaphysical relationship with self and life. And this time period of Sagittarius, right now we have 4 planets in Sagittarius, is so exciting for that kind of visioning. So amazing that we're meeting on this concept, but really this invitation into alignment, because we're saying, wow, what is this inner architecture that I am already aligned to? I loved how Julie said, allowing ourselves to be organized from within, from what's already within us, and to be arranged by coherence. This is what we can be doing in this time of Sagittarius. And I'll say a little bit more about that. Right now, yes. So 4 planets are in Sag right now. This is a time period. We go through Sagittarian cycles every year. We go through the signs, but this happens to be the moment of precluding this massive, you know, 0 degrees Aries, Saturn, Neptune turning of the epochal evolutionary cycle. So, what does it mean to be in the Sag moment with four of our planets, Mars, Venus, Mercury, all helping us align? What does it mean to be in Sag right before this turn? Well, Sagittarius is the vision keeper. It holds the map of the architecture. It sees the new templates, the blueprint of what it is that we're aligning to. So, this is absolutely a moment for us to be deepening in clarity of the vision and to be questioning our approach and opening up to new approaches to how we view ourselves and our part in life. So let's get into some specifics. On December 19th, we're having a Sagittarius new moon. And it's a massive event where we have Venus and Mars all conjoined to the new moon, squaring these two planets, Saturn and Neptune, who are still in Pisces at the time. So this is kind of a crucible of alignment. It's like, okay, are my choices in alignment with these universal principles of these new mythologies that can actually hold paradox, and bring us out of old dogmas and into this new cosmology? Are my choices in action, in alignment? That's what this time is asking for us. There's a lot of squaring to Saturn, Neptune, so it requires a bit of rigor to this reorientation. It might not be comfortable. And that's one thing that I just want to invite us to remember, that accepting what is our kind of our main job. Like, it's okay if you're seeing the thing that's out of alignment. It's so important. Just feel what you gotta feel to be in the moment and accepting it, which might require you to accept the heartbreak that you have around something that's misaligned or some belief that you've been living in accordance to. So there's so much Pisces goodness in the energies right now that it's like, yeah, compassion, forgiveness, the supple softening of our human systems, literally shedding our egos. Like, that is what this time period is about. Neptune just stationed direct on December 10th, so just a couple days ago. It was amazing how much I felt it. There's an active dissolving happening right now. I don't know if you can feel it. There's like a melting of the ego structures where we are, you know, being aligned to a deeper spiritual truth through our willingness to discern what is and what is not in alignment. So you might be noticing that there's like this sense of emptiness, or something's not taken shape yet, but that's what it means to walk the liminal. It's all good. Just keep letting go is the guidance I'm hearing, because there's a big ignition point that's coming January and February this coming year. And right now we're not in that moment of big action. We're in the moment of softening, opening, and shedding as we listen to the blueprint. So I'm going to say a couple more words, and I hope I'm not going over time. I want to say two more things about this new moon and generally just this month of December. That the new moon's going to be happening in the 10th gene key. And this is the gene key of being. It's of naturalness. So, and the gift of naturalness is titled Living Your Own Myth. So it's pointing back to what Julie and what Jude have been saying, is that when we relax and just allow ourselves to like be so in alignment with our own authentic current, that is what is going to spark a lot of the actions moving forward. So radical authenticity as a compass for true alignment. We've got to have the courage to let our desires be known. What do you actually want? Get clear on that. and let that be a compass so that we can align our will, our individual will with the divine will. Like we are a current for that. And that's what the Aries energy is going to say is go, act. What are you going to do? You know, what's the self enacting? So this is just such an inspiring time. And I think I'll end us with inquiry. One of Sagittarian's great guiding principles is asking the right questions, being in inquiry as a devotional act. So the more that we can open to what we don't know, I know this sounds, you know, this is deep spiritual wisdom. We've heard that alignment actually serves us to surrender and open, and then we can act with great wisdom and live up to the name of our species, Homo sapiens. Sapience is wisdom. Okay.
Wow, Amelie, please read through the chat when you're have a free moment, and I'll save the chat because it was beautiful. You have lots of wonderful praise there. This is so important that we're all feeling it, and you can bring in the astrology and the gene keys that really land it for us so we can align. So thank you so much for your gifts. We're going to bring you on in a minute. We're going to take a moment to integrate all of this through music and bring back our beloved Gary Malkin with some music. Gary?
Yes, indeed. You know, it's so interesting. I have been, do I need to unmute or am I unmuted?
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
You're a little
You could
soft. so
speak a little
Gary, if you
louder.
could speak
Yeah.
louder. Yeah. Thanks.
Hey, all right. Hi. This sign is saying unmute, so I'm going to take it off because it's distracting me. Hi. So this morning, I just woke up with the line, "We are lining up." And it's so interesting because it's kind of been writer's block for a number of months. And all of a sudden this song came to me, and writing a song is different from learning how to sing it. So, but I hope, I don't know if somebody's going to throw in the lyrics in the second half of this, but the first half is written in the first person because it always starts with our own ecosystem. Inner peace always starts within us. But then if you want, you can, hopefully lyrics will be put up and you can sing along if you like. Not unmuted, of course. But so I'll hopefully be able to represent this song because it just was written literally hours ago. I am lining up to a sense of belonging. I am lining up to my one true love. I am lining up to my heart as I remember who I truly am and what I've always known. I am lining up to this moment that receives me. I am lining up to the one true love. I am lining up to the wisdom that believes in me as I remember that there's only one of us. There's only one of us, though my eyes will deceive me. Only one of us as I move through time. And when the sum of us knows that there's only, knows it's time to believe it, there's only one path to take. We'll do it all for our sake. There's only one of us. There's only one of us. Only one. We are lining up to are lining up to our one true home. We are lining up to our hearts as we remember who we truly are and what we've always known. We are lining up to this moment that receives us. We are lining up to the one true love. We are lining up to the wisdom that believes in us as we remember that there's only one of us. Ooh, there's only one of us. Though our eyes will deceive us, only one of us as we move through time. And when the sum of us knows it's time to believe it, there's only one thing to do. We'll do it all for our sake. There's only one of us. Only one of us. Ooh, can't you hear the choir? Oh, 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 oh. One of us. There's one of us. Only one. Only one. One of us. There's only one of us. There's only one of us. There's only one of us. Only one of us. Only one.
Yeah.
Wow, Gary, that was incredible. I'm so tickled that the Catapult inspired this new music and maybe broke you out of your writer's block. That was incredible and beautiful and so aligned. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And I have to do a shout out to Kit Thomas because he's been nursing this phrase, the one of us, for years. And we almost called the We Rise as One event at Grace Cathedral that we recently had the one of us. But it was his phrase and I didn't want to steal it, but it came in. So Kit, thank you for letting us use the phrase.
Thank you and bless you, Kit Thomas. Yes. Oh, wonderful. Well, that was a perfect way to integrate. We're going to bring all of our guests, special guests on screen here now. Teresa always likes to help us pull the golden thread and do some more integration. So we'll bring back Jude, we'll bring back Teresa. And yeah, wow, Teresa.
That was so much fun. That was so much fun. Thanks, Gary, for that like rousing song. It just kind of felt like from, Amelie, just kind of like relaxing so that we can like ignite. It just felt like both of those things at the same time, which was really fun. Gosh, I just want to start by saying the quality of the presence of the field that's here today. Oftentimes I'm reflecting about the presenters, but I really wanted to take this moment just to say thank you to everybody that's come today. I'm looking Jennifer and Elizabeth and Paul and Eileen and Joyce and Marion and Grace and Rosalind and everybody that's here. Carol, the quality of presence that this community brings to these moments where, we decided that we would come together to acknowledge these portals, these moments of transformation where we get to choose something. And we're not just doing it by ourselves, but we've been doing it as a community, and it's building an incredible field of coherence and opening. And I don't know if you're feeling this, but it's getting easier to make these choices, not as like something we have to do, but something that's starting to relax inside of us so that we can get right down to it. And when I think about alignment, I think about it as a frequency. Like when I think aligned, like from embodiment, which is kind of like, okay, I'm going to let this release and remember and embody to kind of come into my body so that I'm more present. And then to align, then it's like, what's the quality of my presence? What's the frequency of not my idea about myself, but the actual frequency of who I came here to be in this time, in this life? And so all of that letting go and surrendering helped us to get there. And then it's like, so from that place, the more I can align with the true frequency of me, this unique expression, then aligning with the frequency of the earth and her becoming in the field around me that's moving through this amazing shift of frequency and form and energy. And so it's like this relaxing all the way into myself, and then a sense of myself in the frequency of wholeness that is rising in our shared awareness. So I just wanted to bring that in because it changes it from a doing or a thought into a vibrational energy of awareness that we're aligning with. And it's something new, and it's something ancient, and it's something here right now that's gathering us and clustering us. And as every single one of you said, trusting it, just trusting it. So Jude, is always lovely to have you and to keep that story. And I loved you and Amelie kind of playing a dance. And I actually think it'll be super fun on February 20th when we do the harmonic emergence that the two of you are in dancing together. Look, that would be super
Yes.
fun. And Linda, it was lovely to have you today. And I just think about the continuity of your presence in the connection field and in the community. And it's so nice to be able to have somebody that's been holding the field, to have a place to be both acknowledged and felt, but to also give the gift of that depth into the community once more. I know that felt good to you. I could feel it. Yeah. And Gary, it's been a while, Gary, and it was so nice. I loved that we got to feel your musical talent in those big things that open our heart, and then to have you just sing to us with all of your heart. That just, that just was like the little icing on the cake and the little cherry. And lastly, I really, really, really want to acknowledge Julie Krull. Like, you guys, this catapult has been extraordinary. Julie's writing in the connection field in Medium, like there is something pouring through Julie that is so embodied and is the frequency of wholeness that she's really just naturally and relaxingly expressing. So anyway, that's what I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you. I see Amelie, she knows I'm a Sagittarius. So this is like, oh yeah, this is, yeah. Thank you. And thank you all. I want to just say something because we had a couple of our imaginal souls ask questions and we didn't have time for them. But as I reflect on one of them, I just want to put this out there for a brief yay or nay from the five of you beloveds here today of how you feel about this. But it feels like this is a moment, like we've been learning about this time for decades in separation consciousness. So it's like, oh yeah, integrate this and this. Oh yeah, think holistic. Oh yeah, like we've been learning about so many things, and it feels like now is the time we're releasing all of those old ways that we've learned about unitive consciousness, and we're just fully embodying it and aligning with it so that we're coming into this emergence, this 2026 of harmonic emergence. I just want to see if anyone has like a few seconds worth of morsels there about how we've been taught, how we practiced, how we believed has come from separation consciousness, and it's brought us this far. We even talked about the religions. And now we're totally just letting go and being this true nature of reality that we are. So, Jude, you're shaking your head. I'll start with you. And then anybody else wants to jump in just briefly, because we only have a few
Yeah,
minutes.
just to say, and going back to the astrology, we're in a remarkable moment, and it's only a short moment, where all three inner planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, are what's called out of bounds. There's no rules. There's no rules anymore. We can literally step into, with their support, what we're speaking to, which is our authentic selves. We don't have to be limited by the shoulds and the shouldn'ts. They're offering us through Sagittarius, as Amelie said, but also into Capricorn, to find new ways of being in the world, embodied in the world, but boundless, free, and trusting.
Beautiful. I'm just going to ask, go ahead, Gary.
I want to echo what Teresa said about you, Julie. That transmission, we've been frequently in different worlds, right? And so I saw you at the second catapult, first catapult, but I haven't heard your writing and your transmitting. I don't know how to say how moved I was by the way there's a matter of fact depth and profundity to the unity of consciousness narrative that is so inside, like when you said, Teresa, it's so embodied now. It's like, I'm not just hearing words, I'm getting the full transmission of the experience. And I just want to acknowledge the work that enables you to do that, because it's accessible to anyone now. It's not like, what are you saying? It's like, it's completely clear. And I just want to thank, and also whatever I did in this world to be able to attract the goddesses that I'm surrounded by on this call right now. I'm about to end my chapter for 3 months. I'm going to give a TEDx talk in January in Mexico. I'm preparing now for it. And I just want to say this was the best Christmas present I could have possibly had, was to be with all of you today. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. We love you.
Gary. Yeah. And I'm just going to, before we turn this over to Linda to do our closing ceremony, acknowledge Teresa Collins, who's always building fields of coherence and really has an innate capacity to architect and design the infrastructures of what's needed. So I just thank you, Teresa, for all that you do and how you hold the field and how you continue to lift up everyone else in that way. Thank you so much. Yeah. Amelie, go ahead.
Okay, I do want to jump in before we hand it back to Linda, because Teresa's been a mentor and an auntie to me for maybe almost 15 years now. And 10 years ago, she said what she just said to us about alignment as a frequency to me in a moment of relationship counseling with my partner, who I'm still with. And it was like, wow, it took me 10 years literally to like actually relax and stop resisting reality. And so I just wanted to bring that into our awareness that a lot of where this applies is in our relationships. And when Julie was talking about that difference between the ideas of what we've been learning and how we actually live it, I think that the living happens in how we are with the people closest to us. And I do want to just introduce, like, I think over time, there's something called reflective equilibrium between the concept or the theory and the practice, and how we revise the practice based on the theory, and we revise the theory based on the practice, and they recursively teach each other. So we kind of have been, the concepts have been teaching us how to adapt how we see and learn and live them. And that the lived example of how my relationship is finally relaxing to that level that Auntie T was like, you need to stop seeing him through your ideas and just be in the reality of who he is. So thank you, Auntie and Julie, for framing that, and everybody. It's so beautiful to be alive right now.
That was a beautiful reminder, Amelie. Thank you. Like, this is for this embodiment and this alignment. It's right here, right now. It's where we each are in our lives, in our relationships, in our work. It's our expression of this frequency that builds the coherence that's changing everyone around us. We are it, guys. And it's so exciting right now. So thank you for that. And yes, we still acknowledge the grief and the trauma and the anxiety for so many on the planet as we go through these change. Those that know not what they do, those that know not what's happening. And we send them love and compassion and just a beautiful calm wave of this love that we're feeling today. I'm seeing a few heads shaking, so thank you. And there's Paul and Rosalind. There's so many up there. Thank you. Thank you. Who I can see on my screen. I can't wait to see you all later. But first, let's turn this back over to Dr. Linda Linker Rosenthal to lead us out.
Well, everyone, all of my soul sisters and brothers, and to everyone who's here, what a beautiful experience this entire catapult has been. And today, what we've felt, and through the music and through the words and the way the stars are speaking to us, and the wisdom from all of you, Jude and Amelie and Gary and Julie and Teresa. And to everyone who's here, this is a moment where we truly can walk every day in our relationships, in our life, whatever we're doing, back and forth to the store, to the schools, to our families, to our grandchildren, to whatever we're doing, and understand that we are it in this moment. We are bringing this new vibration of love, joy, and letting go. So in these last few minutes, let's do this together. Just gently be here, close your eyes, let my voice disappear as I guide us to just breathe, remember, and feel with the visceral feeling of this new vibration that we're stepping into, emerging as the light that we are, as the wisdom and the love that we already are. Just feeling that. Thank you. It's a matter of saying yes. It's a matter of trusting that we came to Earth at this time to be here, to raise this vibration and this understanding, to know that we are the consciousness itself, birthing itself through us, as us. Feel that gentle smile come into your body. As Thich Nhat Hanh would say, feel that your liver is smiling at you, that your kidneys are smiling, that all of your organs inside are smiling, and that the buzz of the entire universe is tingling through you, saying thank you for being alive in this moment. Thank you for using your vehicle, your body, as the way that alignment is expressed. If we are in our car as a vehicle and the wheels are out of alignment, then we're going to be taken to places that we don't really want to go, out of balance. And yet when our wheels are aligned, we get to direct exactly where we want to go, into that field of harmony with all, into that field of peace, to that knowing of love, that powerful, real, joyful sensation, loving to be alive in this moment, loving to know that with every thought and every emotion that we think and feel, it is aligning us with our higher selves that join together in a place of newness, excitement, curiosity, where we are birthing ourselves from portal to portal, ready to emerge and walk this earth as the new beings that we are. Take a breath and feel that tingle within you. The gratitude that we've spent this time together and that we will take this with us. With every light that flickers in this holiday season that we see, let us see the light inside of each one of us. We are the light, the joy and the love. And again, with great gratitude, let's take another deep breath, feeling each one of our energies right here, right now, letting go, saying goodbye to that ego that has to have everything in order, and allowing ourselves to move forward, playing, singing, dancing, loving, and being in joy together. And so it is.
Thank you, Linda. And thank you for that beautiful music. And I would say let's close in silence, but we always love to hear each other's voices. So let's put us on gallery and see everyone and open your mics and just send blessings to all of us
Namaste,
here and the
everyone.
entire.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you.
Greatest
love.
What a wonderful
Thank
evening.
you. Namaste, everyone.
Gary, for the beautiful
Beautiful.
music.
God,
Thank you, everyone.
Good holidays, everyone.
Namaste. Blessings to all.
Drew there. Hey,
Thank you so
Drew.
much.
begin with a lot of fire.
Love everyone. All my relations.
I love you.
Thank
Love
you.
you all.
All my relations.
Blessed be.
If you needed love,
Thank you so much.
touch them.
Thank you.
Love you all.
Love to everyone.
Love you all.
Thank you.
Good
Have a blessed
Thank you.
so much
Hey, Marion and
gratitude.
Glenn.
Beautiful.
Hi, Bill.
Everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Drew.
Thank you.
You're all so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
You're beautiful.
Beautiful
We
group.
are wonderful.